Hey y'all, PariahDox here. So we've got a little bit of bad news. We're going to have a little bit of a different episode of Subnautica today. We lost our recording for the final two episodes of Subnautica. They corrupted while they were exporting from Streamlabs OBS. So I ran back through, as you can see here. I started a new game and spent a little bit of time using console commands and going through a whole bunch of stuff to get back to the point that we were at so that we could go through a couple of those final cutscenes. We will be going back to the main save file at some point because we will be cutting that in because there was only one portion of the game that I had overridden with a save. So the very end of the game we'll still be able to experience together on the original save file. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and run you through kind of some of the stuff that we did getting caught back up here. So, if you don't mind, I will skip over to that right now. Hello and welcome back to Subnautica. A little bit of a different version this time. So we spawn ourselves in to planet 4546b with full control over our environment. We decide to go ahead and take care of a couple of the story elements that we can get out of the way first of all. First most and most importantly, the destruction of the Altera ship. Because honestly, it's just as good as a 2 weeks notice. And just for good measure, we make sure to go ahead and blow it up again. Always make sure to double tap. Now that we've sort of tested the limits of our story element enabling, we go ahead and start the countdown for the Sunbeam's arrival, and then shortly afterwards realize that we can go ahead and just trigger that event right off the bat. We go ahead and trigger the Sunbeam arrival sequence, and also go ahead and hit ourselves with a slight sickness or infection. Gotta be infected to get uninfected. We spot ourselves in a sea moth and venture around slightly to kind of get a bearing on our location. And realize that we can actually see an event that we had to miss last time because I got a little bit too distracted. It's a little blurry and out of focus because the island missed, but we finally get to see what happened to the Sunbeam. That was probably our fault. Once the dust settled, we had work to do. First thing that we needed was a vehicle capable of getting down there. Could have pretty easily put ourselves into some sort of god mode and swam ourselves down there, but I figured taking the Cyclops down would be a better path. Once we get the Cyclops named, after its predecessor, of course, and colored, we can go ahead and start doing some upgrades. Spawned in all of the vehicle upgrades that I could so that we could have the most efficient path down possible. Next up, we need a new pair of walking shoes. Once we're done admiring our new Cyclops, we can spawn in a brand new prawn suit. Just a few clicks and commands later, prawn suit is fully upgraded and ready to dive with us. I realize in the middle of upgrading that ourselves need some upgrades as well. 45 seconds of oxygen just does not quite cut it for these. So once we got our handy dandy grappling arm and drill arm, because obviously I still need that, and got ourselves all upgraded, we were finally able to start our new adventure. I decided to detour slightly to get ourselves a sea glide, and also to test out one of the old goodies that we never quite got to use. Turns out, a Pathfinder tool is pretty neat and probably could have come in handy quite a few times. With all that done, our vehicles and ourselves fully upgraded, we were ready to begin our travels down into the lava town. With some clever maneuvering around the safe shallows, where we definitely were totally not built to exist. Gave a brief non-recognition to the brothers of George, who, in this alternate reality, all got to stay safe on their rocks. As we started making our way down towards the ridge and into the our classic blue ball zone, we realized that the sonar upgrade is actually pretty cool. I 100% recommend it for anyone doing playthroughs. I never installed it on mine, but this is a little bit of a battery drain, but so cool and incredibly useful for us. So I got to play around with that a little bit on our way down here, which was pretty fun. Making our way down towards the ever-familiar Degassi habitat, we had a couple of slight struggles banging up against the rocks, but everything was working out pretty well. Got a few more little bumps and bruises in our hurried state, but we finally found our way down towards the Degassi habitat. Of course, this wasn't the last issue that we ran into while we were still up here in the above world. We stumbled across a little bit of a meeting of the minds, if you will, that was very, very upset with us for interrupting their meeting. After taking a couple moments to do our best impersonation of the "this is fine, but everything's on fire" meme, we managed to collect ourselves and figure out what we were doing with our lives. I believe there was a point in here where I was trying to look up the console command to repair our Cyclops and put out all the fires on it, but the only one I could find was one that repairs all Cyclopses on the entire map. I thought that might be a little bit much. Once everything was actually fine and all the fires were put out, we finally found our way to the green pools that led us to where we needed to go. As gracefully as ever, we finally made our way back down into the Lost River. With no time to spare, we just beelined our way to where we needed to go, down into the inactive lava zone. Thought I might see what the area actually looked like with the sonar upgrade, which is still just mind-boggling that I didn't get that installed earlier. It is so cool. We get to make a right turn here and say hello to another old friend that wasn't too happy to see us. But honestly, at this point, with being in this much of a rush, maybe the least afraid of the Ghost Leviathan that I ever have been. So decided to kind of give a little nudge and say hi. And of course, it gave us a little nudge back. Making our way down to the Ghost Leviathan birthing tree. We had our destination in mind. We're getting closer and closer. I think that overall was reasons like this was the reason that I didn't want to just no-clip my way through the map and zoop all the way to the end so we could trigger that final cutscene. Getting one last chance to go through the entire game and view some of these things was a really good opportunity, especially taking out all of the grinding and farming and building and researching. Took an opportunity to collect ourselves before we went down to the inactive lava zone and actually take care of some of the repairs, taking out a repair kit tool, for the first time. With our beautiful Cyclops back in working order, we made our way further down into the inactive lava zone, which seemed a lot more inactive this time around than it did last time. It felt a little bit hotter last time. Seemed like it cooled off a little bit while we were gone. Found our way into our crater, and this time, Mama didn't raise no chump. We got our Cyclops down into the fully active lava zone. I think that at this point, I probably had the invisibility one on. got pretty pogged up seeing the telepathic message. And had another friend to say hello to as we drove past. Probably one of the Leviathans that was still quite terrifying in size, even though we were in the Cyclops. Getting out in our prawn suit and into the alien base. Used all of our willpower to summon up a blue tablet or two. And all typos aside, finally got to meet once again our fair lady.
Are you here to play? Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you. We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they did. My young need to hatch, to play outside this place. We have been here so long. The others built a passage to reach the world outside. I asked them for this freedom, but they could not hear me. If you help us, I will give you freely what the others tried in vain to take.
Now that we were here and activated
with the passage you have opened,
the portal to the outside,
can leave this place. But first they must
it was
feel
time
the time is
to
right
begin the
and break
process
free of their shells.
that we had actually missed.
This is what the others could not force from me. To you, I give the secret willingly.
So we gave ourselves little bit of time to regain some oxygen, for one. But we gave ourselves the enzymes that we were going to need in order to hatch the Leviathan babies. It's amazing how adorable they are while they're still about the size of a full-grown human adult.
30 seconds. My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end. What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seas to a new land. Or a creature so small, it sees the gaps between the grains of sand.
Saying goodbye at last. Both of our missions complete. We finally get to see the enzyme 42 that cures us from the bacteria. With that done, we follow the mini Leviathans out. It's just one last thing to do. Say hello to a warper and get ourselves a big gun disabled. A little bit more magic willpower gets us a couple more tablets. And a small conversation with an incredibly sassy robot. Make our way out of the containment unit with our quest for today pretty much complete. We've been cured. The Sea Emperor Leviathans have been born and released out into the wild to cure the rest of the planet. And that's pretty much going to do it for me. Going to be sending you over to in real time, Ryan. Thank you guys again so much for understanding. This is a pretty chaotic night for me. So I will see you around. Of course, we got to do one last thing after we test out our gun. Peace out, guys. Hey, y'all. So, as you doubtlessly know by now, let me try to fix my levels here a little bit. As you doubtlessly know, as you've just been watching the episode, we lost our recording. Real unfortunate. But there's a couple of little bonus things I wanted to throw in at the end of this episode. We are on the messed with file. We currently just basically cut off where we left off on the non-survival file. We will be going back to that next episode, so keep that in mind. But there was a couple of little things that I wanted to test out that I had heard about. One being the ability to hand feed animals. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in a sea moth here. Just real quick so we can get back over to our Safe Shallows base. So the concept that I've seen this on Reddit and other platforms is the ability to basically, if you hold a fish in your hand, the predator will eat the fish and won't eat you, which is kind of a big deal. Like, you could go as far as to say that it increases your safety tremendously. Pardon me. So we're going to test that out on a couple of little ones, because my thinking is this probably ended up being a little bit of a shorter episode than most, along with what we're doing next time. But we are... oh, excuse me. Yeah. No more further study. We've done all the study that we can. So yeah, we're probably going to test it out on a couple of varying whatchamacallits, predators as we find them. Probably working our way all the way up to testing it on the Reaper, the behind the Aurora Reaper, just right over there to our right? Oh, no, okay, it's somewhere. Is it to our left now? Oh, would you look at that? We spawned in such a different spot. Okay, so we get back over here to our Safe Shallows. The main reason we want to get to the Safe Shallows is... yes, I think I would have lost my mind if I had spawned over here. We want to get some fish. Peepers, I think, is the obvious choice. Are you still exploding? You shouldn't be exploding anymore. Yeah, this one is something, this is a new thing, so I wanted to record it live as opposed to doing the, continuing the edited theme of the rest of the video. Peeper, 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 peeper. Peter, peeper, piper. Oh. Picked a pack of peeper peppers. There we go. So, I mean, what are we looking for here? We probably want to find some, like... are you really gonna go... the sun about to go down? Hold on, I'm sure we can do something about that. Day. And so it was. As long as we are on this file, I am totally fine with that. So, if we actually we probably just do all of this experimentation over by the Aurora. Or even with, I don't know if it'll work on the Sand Boy, or on the, Metal Loving Boys, because they, very specifically, very rarely do the Predator thing. Where's the Aurora at? There it is. But there are some sand sharks over here that we can test on, for sure. Oh, look at all them. So, you just have to hold the fish in your hand is all I was told. Huh? Oh yeah, it ate the fish. It's so happy now. That's bizarro, dude. I can't believe that mechanic is in the game. Hey, come here, buddy. Will you eat it? Oh yeah, you're busy, huh? Like, it doesn't make them any less scary. Eat it. Are you guys fighting each other or something? They really love that fish. So, unfortunately, that experiment worked, and that means that we have another thing to do. No matter how... A little hoverfish, it winked at me. No matter how awful this actually ends up being, we have a Leviathan to meet. This part, I fully expect to be quite terrifying. Yep. Get out, get the fish in our hands. Hello, buddy. You want a fishy? You do want a fishy. Come on, eat the fishy. See, you're fine. No? You're still a little angry, but you did eat the fishy. Okay, goodbye. It was nice knowing you, brother. Oh my god, I can't believe that fucking worked. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, that's so cool. I love that they put that in. I also love that I didn't know that until just now. Absolutely wonderful. So there is one more predator job that we have to do. Finding out that you can hand feed them is one thing. It is pretty great. That's cute. But for this one, we are going to be spawning in a Cyclops. And the, if I can find it. Huh? Cannot find prefab protect type Cyclops. Spawn Cyclops. Excuse me. Oh, it's sub Cyclops. Hello, beautiful. I think it's still creating itself. And so, for this section of Ryan being incredibly terrified and dealing with monsters that he has avoided in the past, we're just gonna go. The purpose of this is to get out into the further biome. I want to see how far we can go. We probably actually want ourselves a shield generator. Nah, we'll be fine. But there's a mechanic in this game that if you drive out into the abyss, it will start spawning giant versions of those ghost leviathans. And they will be chasing you, of course, because their job is to attack you and chase you until you go back into the regular areas. So, we're going to have a look at a couple of those. Don't know when it starts, but we'll know when it ends. We're cavitating, boys. Is that an island? Looks like it. No, don't overheat. You're fine. There's really just no telling when the abyss starts. That looks like it's an island, so maybe somewhere after this. Make sure to check my softwares here. Streamlabs giving me a little bit of grief and deleting my save files like a big jerk. Are we about to do this at night? Heck no. We're about to do it during the middle of day. Is that excessive noise for you? So this mechanic, I believe, basically exists. Oh, that looks like that might be it out there. Basically exists to deter the more adventurous types from just driving off to the end of the world and like maybe finding no clip spots or parts of the map that aren't finished or anything like that. So it looks like the water up here changes a little bit. Crater edge. Oh, yep, I see one of them behind us. Everything is fine. There is nothing wrong. I want to see how far we can get here before we get completely torn apart. Because from what I understand, they keep spawning until there's like a lot of them. How's our health? Took a decent chunk out of that. A big old bite out of our fin, dude. Warning, vessel cavitating. Yeah, so what I can tell, it seems pretty chill so far. I'm sure that there are some more of these bad boys just like spawning in around us and waiting to come get us. But this part is definitely a pretty big deal, especially as far as I'm concerned, because let's wait here and see. This is the absolute like not trypophobia, thalassophobia level where it is just absolute nothingness except for giant monsters. Don't actually seem like they want to play. Well, we'll see. They're supposed to spawn in, I think, every 30 seconds. So we'll see if we find some more here. Where are you? Go backwards and down a little bit here. Maybe they spawned and we just outran them all. Huh, strange. Maybe the abyss is safer than I thought it was. What a shame. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I apologize about the little bit of a weirder format of an episode, but I really appreciate you tuning in and being supportive of the series. We'll be back with the true ending next time. I'm going to be hopping back on the save file that we still have the save file. We just lost the recording files for that part. So we'll be back with that here in just a couple days. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube things. That's what YouTube is here to do. Thank you so much.